Hello, Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. What's going on, buddy?
What it is.
All right, so now that we've got off of every possible like serious thing in life, now we can venture into things a little more on the lighter side. I really didn't like today. Trying to watch back little parts of the segment or whatever.
Sure.
It's just a lot of stress.
Dismal.
Yeah. Not a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff. Even if you try and joke about good stuff, it's just not good
Not
stuff.
feeling it. I get it.
So you were mentioning, hey, I had fun this weekend and whatever. Look at me. I'm mad. I'm cool. And then you thank you because you reminded me that I kind of had fun this weekend also. Not that I really forgot about it, and it's not a monumental do things thing,
sure.
but I had some fun too.
Did you?
So you go first.
Well, no, we just,
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
We went to four of us, boy, girl.
Hey, all right.
When we went out to the east side bar, and it was okay. It was all right. It was nothing special, but I was telling you on the way there, literally almost died. I mean, when people say, "Hey, I almost died," right? No, this.
But did you
almost freaking die?
The little Asian guy meme.
Yes. So, me being the good driver that I am, and I'm not to brag, but I do have training in some hazardous driving accident avoidance classes.
Technically, I was bragging, but go ahead.
Was it?
Yeah, a little bit. With all due respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
All due respect.
Okay. With all due respect. No, but that's
Talladega
good.
Nights?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, this is good.
Anyways, so we're driving up Van Dyke, right? Mound 102.
Yeah, you said
They're all the
Mound
same
first.
over there.
Mound, Ryan.
It's all the same.
Shenanigans.
It's east side.
I call it shenanigans.
Just congestion.
Yep.
So we're driving, and I'm in the second to right lane, cruising along, drive, and I look in my rearview mirror. I see a car coming pretty fast. Like, okay, what are you doing, guy? I look in front of me, and I see that there's some carnival that's going on, some festival. There's 3 cars that are stopped waiting to turn into the festival. Ton of people on the side of the road, pedestrians, whatever, but no one in Mound, just off to the side. So I look in my rearview mirror again because I see that I notice the car kind of acting erratically coming through, doing the weaving. I looked behind in the rearview mirror. I saw what it was, a couple cars on his headlights. Next thing I saw was his trunk. Like I just saw the trunk, and as I looked forward at the same time, I knew that because I've already glanced forward to look at the traffic that stopped. Because I was like, "Oh crap!" Mountain, it flows pretty decent. This guy, I'm not joking you, Jake. If I stepped on the brakes. I mean, I didn't just get off the gas because I'm a dick, and I would have cut him off, and just made him fucking, oh, you son of a bitch, you sped up on purpose. I got on the brakes. I literally jammed on the brakes, and he come through, and he did a maneuver where if I would have stayed on the gas, even just let off the gas, he would have either hit that car or clipped that car and clipped my car. It was Jake. Everybody in the car. We didn't say a word for like 5 minutes.
Really?
Just. That's how jacked up it was. We were both everybody was just going, what just happened? And so the guy did all the shenanigan moves and almost killed everybody in that whole area. I get up to the car, and I'm looking. He's got some tinted windows, but I could still see into the car. And I see his girlfriend doing the whole holding her head, looking down. Like I think she was even crying, and he was like looking straight ahead. He wouldn't even look at me. She wouldn't look at me because I was going to give him an earful.
Right.
Saying, "Hey, you could have killed everybody over there," but that was part of the night. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Definitely intense.
No, dude, close call car accidents and whatever. So what how did the rest of the night go?
Oh, we hung out at the bar.
This is supposed to be fun.
I know, but I had to tell you that story. No, so we just went to the bar, and then we came back to the west side, hit another bar, and hung out with the friends, and had a good time.
Yeah?
Yeah, just
right
a good time. It was, kind of mellow. Next week, because, it was technically supposed to be my birthday weekend, getaway, whatever. And it's next weekend, this Thursday.
Just a cautionary, Uber is a great thing. 4 people, you guys throw in $10 a piece.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I really wasn't drinking.
Well, I know, regardless. But you take the, people who drive for a living or whatever without being distracted with the other people in the call, like like an Uber XL or, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why I try and keep it close to home, I only because I only like to go places where I feel semi-comfortable. Like I'm not out hunting for a new place. Like, I go
That's
there.
what we did. We said, hey, we've heard about this. Let's go over there.
Yeah. Which generally, when you go to places where no one other than the 4 people you're with, you're not going to interact with a ton of other people.
Right. It was,
you know what I mean? So I stopped doing the chase around new venues.
It was the first time in like 65 years that you
did it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, and going to the east side, every time I go there, man, it's nerve-wracking driving back, whether or not you're taking 75 up to 96 or down to 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Like,
that's definitely I could do for another 30 years if I go over that way.
without going. Or if not, call an Uber next time.
No,
let someone leave the driving
east
guys.
Screw it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Hate it.
I explained to this kid who just moved. He moved from the west side of the state. I'm getting a lot of people from like Grand Rapids and whatever that are moving this way, and it's generally in chasing a female or a female chasing a guy. They met somebody. We must be a little bit different than other people because I'm noticing people like, dude, I can meet a great chick from Grand Rapids. Not moving there. You know what I mean? I'm not following you.
No, it's Grand Rapids.
Are you following me? No, I'm not following you. I'm not.
Dude, over here is a lot cooler than Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I
I get it, college town, MSU, but
no, Grand Rapids is like north of Kalamazoo.
East Lansing. Sorry.
No, yeah, East Lansing is Lansing.
East Lansing.
Yeah.
What's Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids
Valley.
is the second largest city in the state of Michigan. It's way over. It's north of Kalamazoo. It's teetering.
Why
near.
was I thinking something about Grand Rapids.
Lake Michigan and whatever over that.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I ended up messing with the hottest, the most perfect like female form ever in life, like this weekend, and it was amazing. Like,
was she awake?
Yes, quite awake.
Drug induced?
No, not drug induced. No roofie action.
Nice.
Yes. No, and there's a system. I probably won't get into it or whatever, but it's Bachelor Patty, system. But yeah, like. The only benefit of being single, and the weird part is I don't want to be single. I would like to have somebody on the regular or whatever,
that's what
but I'm just not dealing with the majority of shenanigans. So playing the non-shenanigan route, I mean, the fact, like, dude, I was in Afterglow for a good day or two.
Really?
This happened Saturday, Sunday, and I think the only thing that killed it, and maybe why I was in such a bad mood or I was in such a state of good mood of just like, oh, I can't believe that was awesome.
Really?
And it's cool. And it's not something that we'll be able to do on the regular.
I was gonna say, is it retap or is this a one-time thing?
Dude, guaranteed retap.
Now, someone you knew for a while?
For maybe
that you've always been
month.
like, God damn.
No, not even.
It was just a secret, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, type of action?
It's hard to explain in that manner because I'm dating in early 20s where they have a completely different idea of as long as you can be around them and they can, oh, you're cool and you're down to have a good time and it's, you're not going to get weird and, try and marry me or do whatever and, leave her for alone on there. But it's totally different. Like they don't take it too serious. And neither do I in the approach. It's like, dude, oh my God. Like, it was the joke about tall drink of water, tall drink of water girl and whatever.
Sure.
But enough to make because I don't care. Like when I tell you it's like buckshot approach, like, if I can get into a talking scenario and I met her about it's been about a month and a half, 2 months. But the frequency in which, I will see her, in between there. And then finally it was, what's up, man? So what's going on? And dude, I'm like, what am I going to date you for real? You know what I mean? You're like 15, 17 years younger than me. What am I going to date you for real? I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, you're out of control. Like, dude, how do you get up and leave the house in the morning? Like, if you get up and look at yourself, like if I could do that, like the weird movies where you magically like got zapped by lightning and you became, or somebody's wish and you became young again, or you became like in a female body and whatever.
Right.
Like if I was trapped in her body, There'd be a whole lot of standing in the mirror and selfies. Now I understand why chicks and Instagram and
Really?
whatever. Dude, it's epic.
I almost want to see what she looks like.
I will if you can ever like come out and whatever. I mean, I know you're
Sure.
but if you get out here or whatever, I will.
All right, no problem.
Like maybe we'll go watch college college ball, grab a bite to eat, watch college
That's
ball, and
fine.
I'll see if I can't get around
Well,
her.
this weekend we're gonna be getting down for my birthday, so it's gonna be an official
Your
birthday week.
technical birthday was today or
Today
whatever.
it is today, but we're gonna
And
celebrate.
you went out for your birthday
But
yesterday.
it really wasn't. I mean, we tried to make it, but everybody was out of town and people had things to do, which is not a problem. I mean, hey, it is what it is. So we kind of planned it a little bit better for this coming up weekend.
Okay.
So we're solid.
But yeah, that was my good time. I went out for a minute on Friday.
Yeah.
And went out for a minute, and that's kind of where I laid a little bit of random groundwork and whatever. But I figured I was like, man, I'm gonna go have a drink. Just it's been a long week.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
didn't go out all week,
Right. Well, we played Northern. We won 24-21.
Nice.
And it was we threw a pick and they scored on the pick. So it really wasn't, the score wasn't any indication how we played. I think we played good. And then we went to the bar after, so that's what we do.
Okay.
We had
Yeah,
a little
that's not a bad thing.
victory celebration and then grab a drink and then get
If it
home.
wasn't so far away, I'd come up and meet you.
Oh, it's actually a good place. It's a
Yeah.
good place. Casey's.
And that would be awesome, but I don't venture,
Oh,
I-
you should come to at least a game if you ever can make it. There's going to be our pink out game. It's for breast cancer awareness, and yeah, my mom.
Are people not aware of breast cancer?
No, it's just more awareness, and they're honoring my mom with a jersey, and Zach gets to play with my mom's.
Thanks.
name on it.
I try and make a joke. You get serious.
No,
on me.
no,
I see.
It's
how you-
okay.
Damn it.
It's all right.
But yeah, no, that
If
it
you
would
ever
be-
come out, whatever, it's all
dude,
good.
I'd love to.
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm
But it's a Friday at like 7.
yeah. I can do something where I'll convince
It's
Mikey
out
to
there.
cover me.
So if you want to go,
Yeah.
not a big deal.
No, that'd be cool. I'd love to. Salem lost.
Did they?
Yep.
Who'd they play?
Um.
Ladywood.
Ba-dum-ba. You this wow, you're talk about Rambo and drawing first blood. Let me show you, because I know you don't know a ton. I know you don't know a ton about my when we had talked about the coaching and the Hall of Fame and all that
Yeah.
shenanigans that I did post. And I don't know, and I guess maybe it's because I'm around you that I'm more football-y and whatever recently.
Good. What do you have on?
What do you mean?
The
Oh,
TV?
like cologne, or that?
What is that?
Dirt nasty, Mickey Avalon, all my clown rap stuff.
That's funny.
Let me see if I can find my post real quick. It was after their loss, right? And I'm looking at some of the pictures, and it was versus Canton. That was 9:15. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's my comment. Tell me what you. Oh, here you go. Read a quick little snippety do. If you might want to, I don't know, you might want to get close. And scroll, but yeah, I saw that they lost, right? And you see them hanging their heads and whatever, and I don't even know if these kids know that they came from a good storied, if they came from a good storied program, right? And you'll have to scroll all the way over here and probably use the right side of the mouse. There you go. Look at you. You got it. I want to pull your arm hair. Yeah, you're good deep in thought. But so I see that, right? And I see they lost. I see some of the pitchers, hanging their heads or whatever. And it was funny because you had mentioned and I was gonna look at something, and I was like, what, let me see if I can find, what the old what our old the glory days, right? And kind of let them know. And at the very bottom I was like, I forget what I said. You could probably tell me, but I think it was something like, you come from great history program or whatever, be great Salem or whatever. But I put all the stuff on Tom Mosimer, right? Or, our old coach. And, all the things with him being in the Hall of Fame. And
Right.
did you see what Ben Schembechler and said about him in
Yeah,
there? You know what
sweet.
I mean? That, he was one of the most he was probably one of the most knowledgeable people in the wishbone, in football today and whatever, right? So when you got Bo Schembechler, saying that,
Sure, it's got some.
and I don't know, it's this weird like armchair quarterbacking, right? Like, Salem, and they've not had a great program for a while, right?
Right.
It's been lacking. And hey, look, dude, you come from a great history of football. That man head coached that team for 33 years.
Right.
And he had 230 some wins to, whatever. So, one of those things. And, I just kind of threw it out there and be great, Salem. You've got a great history behind you, get back.
That's good stuff.
So I don't know. I threw it out there.
Nice.
I did get a couple of my alumni who were like, man, good post, bro. Whatever,
Yeah, I
right?
saw that. It was a good
And
job.
then I played for Mosimer too, whatever,
Good
right?
guy.
And that was kind of the glory days, and I don't know if these kids, with half of the the youngsters that we run into, they don't know a lot of stuff anyway. So I don't know if they know history. And sometimes by holding that, like, hey, dude, pride in that uniform, and you know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, we were whatever, we were great. We can be great again, right? Giving hope or
Right.
faith in something. I don't know.
Right, no.
But yeah, I don't know. That was my football side of it.
Yeah, that was your
I
football
felt
weekend.
I was like, I don't know how people are going to take it by me throwing that in there. Oh, Friday night I did go out for a a soda or two. Had a couple. I did drive myself there because I was like, of course, I'm just going to have one, right? One or two. Ran into a guy that I don't really know. And this is weird. This is my only socialization. And I ran into this individual, and it's funny because he goes in and around places. He's an Albanian guy, and he's a really good guy. Got off on the wrong foot with him like 2-3 years ago because a couple of his friends got into it with Pete the Greek.
No.
Who gets into, and I guess Albanians are not big fans of Greeks.
Oh, really?
Like, I guess like us in Ohio, you Flatlanders and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this guy just, I guess, it was Grieco's birthday, and he was pretty happy and yay and whatever. And he had, we were getting ready to leave, and we were waiting for a car to pull up. And I guess this guy, or we'd called an Uber, and we were waiting, right? Mm-hmm. And they were waiting for their Uber also. And as we were having the conversation, Grieco informed me that the guy had some disparaging things to say about him, his Greekness or whatever, right? And just imagine the worst thing that you could say to, blatantly to, an African-American person.
Sure.
He called him a Greek, one of those, right? And I come out, knowing nothing, and I'm like, oh, and I used to work at this establishment, right? So I come out, and I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Or no, I was working at the establishment at the time. It was just my day off. Mm-hmm. And AP's upset, AP's, upset. Grieco's upset. Grieco seemed more hurt. But AP was really angry. Well, needless to say, AP ends up having a few words, and maybe a wrestling match ensues. I don't get into it because I'm an adult and I work at the place. I'm trying to, at best, keep the peace while peace is not happening, if you catch my drift.
Yep.
So all this happens. My buddy Jay comes out. He helps a couple people to their car. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
A whole melee. Well, ironically, this gentleman and myself, we're both trying to make our friends behave, but it's a very heightened, tense situation.
Right.
So, but we don't do anything, right? Because I guess we're adults, right? Then I haven't run businesses, so does he. We don't know this about each other at the time, but he and I, it's weird.
Right.
So our friends get into fights. We try, and I'm pulling one guy off of this guy, doing whatever. Right. So he and I aren't really involved, but we're in the technical melee, trying to help out.
Sure.
So they leave, they do whatever. Well, I'm somewhere else over in Southfield off Ford Road and Ford Road and Southfield, freeway, right?
Yeah.
And there may be little people being tossed in the air,
Right,
midget tossing or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I'm there and I see this guy, and this can't be 2 weeks later. So of course, in conflict resolution, or hey, is this dude and his friends gonna have a problem with me, even though I didn't, he and I didn't do whatever, but you never know.
Right, you never
I don't
know.
know who he's with or whatever. So I kind of walk around, and I end up boom, boom, just walk right up next to him. He doesn't even see me. I'm standing next to him. Tap him with my shoulder, and I'm like, hey. I'm like, what's up, bro? I was like, dude, that's a fresh haircut, man. I was like, dude, what? I was like, what, you got some super expensive barber, bro? It's a fresh cut. You know, he had the cut with the line in the side and whatever, and he kind of like, eyes get wide, like he looks at me, and I was like, what's up, man? I was like, dude, this stuff is crazy. I'm like, you doing all right? How you been? And he was like, good, man, good. And we kind of like either fist bump or handshake or whatever. Right. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, crazy seeing you out, right? I was like, dude, I never come here, but, obviously we came here because of this and this, but cool, man. I was like, take care of that hair, man. Be cool. And he was like, yeah, what's up? All right, man, I'll see you. So then that happens over the course of like the last like 2 years. So every time I see him, I make sure I go out of my way and be like, hey, what's going on? Ironically, we travel in the same circle of things. Like the only 3 or 4 places I go, granted, I don't see him like every week.
No, I get it.
But it'll be every, 3 weeks or, 3 months, 4 months. And when I do, I always, when I see him, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? He was like, hey, what's up, cuz? Whatever. We have a cool, cordial. Well, it's funny because I went out by myself just to have a couple beers and chill. So I sit and I have a couple beers, and I see him, and I'm like, what up, man? He's like, hey, what's going on, bro? I go walking by, and he was like, hey, man. He was like, you got a minute? He was like, sit down. And he was like, man, sit with me. I was like, okay, no problem. I'm not with anyone else, so right. Instead of hovering. So I sit down, and I'm like, what's up? And he was like, you know how we met, right? And I was like, of course I do. He goes, but yet, no matter what, every time you see me, man, you offer your hand in friendship, you say what's up. He was like, I've actually, we don't know each other that well other than small talk, but, you're a good solid dude and whatever, but, so you do know how we met. And I was like, yeah, it was a crazy night. Our friends are, and he was like, dude, my friends are idiots. Your friends are, so we sit. And then, we talk a little bit about business philosophy. How much money does one actually need? What do you really want out of life? And, the struggle, if you're going to do this and, and do we have a great conversation, right? And he is being extremely flattering in, man, you're a good dude, man. I like talking to you. That's a good viewpoint, man. You're a smart dude and whatever. I was like, dude, you can keep telling me this all night, bro. I'll sit here and,
I'll go home with you.
I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know if I'll go home with you, but maybe I'll go to the Coney because I'd like to hear a little bit more about me being a good, cool dude, right? So that happens and whatever. I see a cool chick friend of mine, blotto, wasted. And I know it was her birthday, and I was supposed to go hang out with her on her birthday Saturday. Right. But I see her, and she's with a chick and a dude and whatever. Anytime, chick friend, whether or not we're cool, like super cool or moderately cool, I'm not really going to interject myself. You're with a dude or, whatever right, your deal is, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed that she doesn't even see me in passing. I know if she sees me, she's going to, hey, what's up? And, dude, nothing. Like zombie. And I was like, oh, she's wasted, which is not uncommon. There's been a tendency for her to get a little more, have a couple too many. So we go through this whole process. I get a call or I get a Facebook the next day. I don't have my phone. I don't have my car. I don't know. And I was like, what? Like, I'm having to tell her that I didn't even talk to you, but I saw you, right? And I saw you leave and you left with this person. I guess complete blackout. Like, woke up without car, without phone. I mean, dude, look, crap. I've lost a phone or two. Generally, it's in the back of an Uber because you've got it out, making sure you're clicking everything, and you leave it on your lap, you get out, whatever. So yeah, kind of weird. So she had more fun than, but completely on a, like, dude, I'm over it. Like, I need a change. This isn't working for me anymore. And, you'd like to give the advice that, well, maybe you just drink a little less.
Right, try that out.
Or instead of drinking mixed drinks, you only drink beer or you only do whatever, sure. Right? I think we've all done the reduction therapy in drinking, right? Like when we used to drink Jack and Coke.
Or know what's your know your pain level.
Yeah, right. Like you kind of have to. But it's weird because in that concept, I came up with the philosophy of talking with that dude and a couple other people. Like, there's a possibility I may run away up north and I'm talking like UP.
For just the what?
Get some property, get some land, possibly get
just to be away.
Well, and one of my business partners has his family has a ranch down south,
Yeah.
and not like a small ranch, like 360 acre ranch. And they do wild game, like they've brought in different breeds of deer,
See all
and
the
they've
time.
genetically, and
Made
I
'em
mean,
right.
yeah, and they've got those, and they've got elk and whatever. Like,
And what do you want to do? Live on this land or work it?
basically that, like live and work it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter the lands.
No, up north thing is the way to go, man. Me and Joe, we want to get a place up there and just chill, just somewhere in the it's got to be pines. I'm a pine guy.
You're a pine guy.
Oh, there's nothing.
No
better
spruce or
no white.
maple.
Yeah, white pine.
Yeah.
Jack pine or white pine.
Those things are neat. I saw a bunch of it when looking at pictures or whatever. But there's a thing that he's done this already. His father, is very well to do.
Yeah.
He actually does a lot of hunts for the Wounded Warrior Foundation and
Oh,
all.
nice.
A bunch of other stuff. So to either take, because obviously we have a different brand and a better brand, I think, of almost anywhere of whitetail and
by far.
And ironically, this is the the overall hypocrisy of my life. I don't hunt. I'd be making friends with the deer and whatever, but raising this and that, working, feeders and do whatever. I'd probably raise dogs, right? I'd probably, because I do like Belgian Malinois Shepherds now, probably do those, a couple other, interesting extreme brands of dogs.
Yep.
And, raise them, do whatever. Because you think, and I guess it all boiled down to, what do? I work Monday through Friday, right? I'll go out Saturday night. I'll have a couple beers. I'll try and find a chick to wrestle with, right? And then I watch football on Sunday and relax, and then go back to doing something, right? So I'm not a big fan of drinking. I do like the Vagine, right? I like to make this sticky. So what really would it matter? And what I do like to do is slow down and less stress, and
a friend of ours has a place up in, I don't know, let's say the middle of the state, and the middle of the state is really inexpensive for property and lakefront. They have a small little 2-bedroom shack, and it's by far not the Bob Seger house, and it's just a chill whatever. Got your little pontoon boat, you got your lake, and it's such a getaway, and it's such a relaxed situation. That's a goal,
dude. I would love to go out and cut down some trees and cut them, and then let them, let those dry out for firewood. For this, like, build a log cabin. Dude, the great thing with Google, I could figure out how to build
easy.
I could figure out how to build a log cabin.
No, I get it. No, property's the way.
And if you've got 100 acres or 160 acres, just go to the far reaches of the other side and whatever, and be like, see you in a few days. I'm going to go work the back 40 and do whatever. I mean, you can get internet and,
I'm down with that.
I mean, it's a neat thing.
I've so wanted some hunting property and fix up the hunting property to where, food plots and whatever, and just chill. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily even have to be hunting and killing and whatever. It's just me out there just chilling. Stars, moon.
It would have to be somewhere near. I'd need to. And here's another thing: I wouldn't be nearly as concerned of what a female looks like if I became a woodsman, right? Like, she needs to be hot or whatever. I could date, just whatever. Doesn't matter what they look like. Just be cool. Don't be a pain in the neck, and let me wrestle with you at the end of the night.
Some of the greatest wilderness and stuff I've seen up north hunting. And especially when it snows. When it snows up there, and you're in the woods, and it's just. It's the weirdest thing,
and then
man.
Snowmobiling. I mean, think if your job is to go tend to the grounds.
Dude, they had a job up there. Speaking of that, they had a job up there where it was a full seasonal job. You went because they have a lot of well sites up there for propane and natural gas.
Oh, for sure.
And
Gaylord's got a ton.
And what you do is you take your truck, you drive on a 2-track, and it's the depth of the woods. Then when you can go so far, you take your snowmobile out. Do it and go drive on a 2-track, and then go check the well, read the meter, whatever. Do it and go to the next site. That's all you do. That's your job.
Yeah.
$22 an hour. That's your job.
Yeah, there's plenty.
$22 up north goes far.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, if your land's paid for and the house is paid for and everything's paid for, and you just go, all right, I'm existing. Because all I want to do now is go home. Like I go home, see my dogs, do whatever. I get up in the morning, I have coffee.
Dude, you need to find a place up north. And UP is great. UP is even cheaper than the lower.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We found some like 120 grand for like 160 acres.
And it's no bullshit. Woods.
Of Lake Superior, like lake frontage, going back into like 160 acres.
And it's no bullshit. It's hardcore freaking woods. It's no joke woods.
Oh yeah, you got like wolves and coyotes and
bears and
bears and stuff.
No, it's thick.
I'd have a
awesome
weird
shit.
relevant, or the Revenant movie or whatever that movie was with we getting
Right.
chased down by. That's why I'd have some gang. I'd get the Tibetan Mastiff, like the thing that looks like a giant lion bear thing that can actually fight off those things and be nice to it.
Yeah, or you get the Presa Canarios. The Presas
Yeah.
are nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, friends of ours has in Grand Marais. Friends have a place, and I remember they have the road to the beach, the house, and then cattails, whatever grass deck thing, half a mile it seemed, but it was probably 100 yards. On little decky thing to the sand and then to Lake Superior. Remember one night we were out there drinking at a bonfire and looked down and here comes a bear and its cub walking down the beach.
Yeah, just what up?
So I'm telling you, just some good times.
Because you think about it, what do I do normally? I go to work and come home 5 days a week. I don't really deal with anyone until the weekend, and I see either AP, Greco, or
Which is okay.
yeah. Well, no,
Not bad.
I've got my few handful of friends.
No.
All I need is
It's a whole nother it's my ex's dad has a place up in Alpena area, and he was
there's a lot of property for sale up there.
he had let's see 60 acres, and he had a one room cabin and then built on. Now it's the house should be in Better Homes and Gardens. I admire him. He's got grass all the way around, but he's got the hills and the woods and the 2-track, and all of his trees are skinny and the leaves are up at top, so maintains the branches, and it's just he retired from Delta, went up, and every weekend he'd go up, do his little thing, come home Sunday, go up Friday, come home Sunday, and he did that for 30 years, 35 years, just chilling.
Yeah, and
and it's just a slow, laid back life, and I'm telling you,
no, it's a real thing, and and it's weird because it's in theory and concept right now. But what I'm realizing, like we had the talk earlier about your own mortality, your own whatever.
Right.
What do I do? What exactly do I do? So I don't know.
yeah, that's a way to go. I think that's a way to go big time. If you had some property and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a thing. So yeah, that was part of my weekend. That was hatched over the weekend, and
Right.
and who knows? We'll see what happens with it, and if on the off chance that if the big money wants to do this to help raise stuff and then send them, we're penning and raising, do high fencing across
Sure.
whatever, and have deer and
They got those places up north too.
Oh, yeah.
White Cloud. White Cloud's a big
Oh
one.
yeah, no, there's a bunch of them.
Do you know? Did you ever hear White Cloud, Michigan?
I
White
don't.
Cloud?
I'm not
That's
a hunter.
like Dale Earnhardt. All the NASCAR guys went there. I mean, big money hunts, but they really take care of their animals.
Yeah, so that would be a thing, right? Take care of animals, grow certain types of grass and food, and you get into that and try and have a little cornfield, have a little whatever, right? And if
Just to see nature, don't have to necessarily kill it, just to let it hang out.
have a garden, grow your own food, do whatever, right? I mean, what's the difference? I'm not doing anything anyways. I can go screw off and cut down trees and
Build stuff,
and do whatever, and then
snowmobiling.
I'm still going to
four-wheeling.
go on Friday or Saturday and have a drink and try and get Susie,
Dude,
country girl, to come home.
There's nothing better than a bonfire under the stars drinking a beer.
Ooh, that's what I meant to do. I need to look at like Plenty of Fish or whatever and see what kind of women are up there.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Craigslist. I mean,
Craigslist. They have real women on Craigslist?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Woodsmen, women.
Woods women. Yeah, I'll
Woods
start that's how I'll make money. I'll start a website, upnorthchicks.com.
Right, lumberjack mamas.
Yeah, but I mean, I've met some that moved down from there, and they're awesome. They're just living up there, and that's their life. And there's got to be pretty stuff and whatever.
And they fish and do all that cool shit.
Yeah, no, dude, and they can't be drama filled and all
and
Kardashian-y.
and they're MacGyver. They ain't no joke. I mean, they got to shovel a walk or get up on top of a roof.
Oh, they be doing stuff.
Yeah, they don't bullshit.
Yeah,
they're definitely seasoned.
They'll definitely be busting my balls on the fact that city boy,
Oh, for sure.
slick talker, right? I don't know what I'll do. I'll go up
Slick.
there with a good story. The good thing is you go up there, you can be anything you want to be. I'll
Right.
change my whole persona.
Yeah.
I'll probably still podcast
witness.
from the woods.
Witness protection program.
That's right. Yeah, it was part of the Gambino family.
Yeah, right. And I'm up here.
That's right. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go. We're going to get Jake the dog, who's been an excellent dog, chilling on the couch. Maybe you saw him earlier as he was, by the front door and whatever. He was scrounging around. Good dog. So, and he's got a cool name. Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com.